That night, Hannah sat at her kitchen table with
Dear Mr. Pope.
She thought there was something absurd about using Mr., considering that she'd been married for 7 years to a significant part of the man, but she would let it stand. The situation called for tact, diplomacy. There would be plenty of time for Dear Henry, if and when. She picked up the pen and continued.
Dear Mr. Pope, my name is Hannah Owen. Could the name mean anything to you? Doubtless not, considering the decorum with which these things are done. I am the wife, some say widow, of Samuel Owen, the man whose heart is even now beating in your chest. Perhaps you will forgive a woman's curiosity. I am writing to ask how you are since the operation. It is my dearest wish that the heart is doing a good job for you, as it did for Sam and for me too. Do let me hear from you, please. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
It was 2 weeks before she saw the envelope in her mailbox. It was neatly addressed in black ink, and it was postmarked Avery, Texas. It shook in Hannah's hands.
Dear Mrs. Owen, it was very kind of you to write asking after my husband's health. He's not much of a letter writer and has asked me to tell you that he is stronger and healthier than he has been in years. He says he is the luckiest man on earth. By the way, however did you get hold of our name and address? I thought such information might be protected, but I guess not. Thank you for your interest. Sincerely, Mrs. Inez Pope.
Dear Mr. Pope, I don't know any other way to say it than just to take a deep breath and come right out with it. What I am going to ask will seem at first insane, but I assure you I am no maniac. I want to come and listen to your heart for the space of 1 hour when it is convenient for you. While I know this request will seem strange to you, I pray that you will say yes. You have no idea how important it is to me. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
Dear Mrs. Owen, my husband and I have tried to understand your position, but we feel that it would not be at all wise for you to come here. Not that we aren't grateful, but you have to admit it is a little on the bizarre side. So this is goodbye. Sincerely, Mrs. Henry Pope. P.S. We have consulted with our doctor, who says it is a terrible idea and perhaps you should get some professional attention to get over it. No offense meant.
Dear Mr. Pope, your wife does not wish to let me come. I can understand her hesitation, the awkwardness and all, and maybe it is only human nature to be suspicious. Perhaps I have ulterior motives. I assure you, Mr. Pope, that I do not. As for my interest in you personally, it is limited to you as the carrier of something that I used to possess, and which I would like to see again, or rather hear again. For that is all I want to do, to listen to your heart for the space of 1 hour. Your doctor doesn't think it's a good idea. Mr. Pope, the doctor doesn't think. If they had thought, perhaps they might have foreseen the predicament into which the miracle of modern science has placed me. No, speak to me not of doctors. They haven't the least idea about the human heart, except how to move it from place to place. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
Dear Miss Owen, I'm very sorry, but the answer is still no, and that is final. Ever since I got your letter, I've been feeling awful, like an ingrate or something. But I know in my heart it wouldn't be a good thing for you either. Sincerely, Henry Pope.
Dear Mr. Pope, the circumstances of my husband's death were violent and shocking. In case you don't know, he was shot in the head by a bandit on the highway where he had stopped to help an old lady with a flat tire. I was there. After 3 weeks on life support, they came to me and told me it was no use, and could they disconnect the respirator. But just before they did that, could they take parts of After 3 weeks on life support, they came and told me it was no use, and could they disconnect the respirator. But just before they do that, could they take parts of his body? Harvest is the word they used. No transplant to other people. Wait. Could they take parts of his body, harvest is the word they used, to transplant to other people? I said yes, and so they took his liver, lungs, heart, corneas, and kidney. There are 7 of you out there. You, Mr. Pope, got the heart, or more exactly, my heart, as under the law I had become the owner of my husband's entire body at the time he became brain dead. Don't worry, I don't want it back, but I do ask you let me come to Avery for 1 hour to listen to your heart. It is such a small thing, really. I ask in return for the donation of a human heart. Just to listen. The reasons are private, and anyway, even if I wanted to tell you why, I don't know if I could put it into words. If you see fit to let me come, I will never bother you again, and you will have repaid me in full. Do please let me know when I can come. Yours truly, Hannah Owen. P.S. Of course your wife can be in the room at all times, although frankly, I would prefer otherwise.
Dear Miss Owen, you said there were 7 of us. Why me? Or do you plan a statewide reunion with all your husband's organs? And the answer is no. Please do not keep writing. It is annoying to say the least, and it's making my wife nervous. Sincerely, Henry Pope.
Dear Mr. Pope, you ask, why you? And you are right to ask. It is because you have the heart. The others, the liver, lungs, kidneys, are all hidden away. But the heart, a heart can be felt. It can be listened to. A heart is reachable. That's why you. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
When there had been no reply for 2 weeks, Hannah wrote again.
Dear Mr. Pope, please. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
Dear Miss Owen, no, goddammit, and if you don't stop this business and get the hell out of my life, I'm going to notify the police. Sincerely, Henry Pope.
Dear Mr. Pope, and so your answer is still no. Oh, can you imagine how sad I am now? Now I am the one who is disheartened. Never mind. I will try to accept it, as I have no alternative. I shall not be bothering you any more, and your wife again. You can relax. I can't resist saying one more time, although it doesn't matter anymore, that I was the owner of the heart. It was mine to give. But that is all water under the dam. Now may I ask you for a much smaller favor? I would like to have a snapshot of you for my scrapbook. Chalk it up to foolish sentiment. Thank you and goodbye. Yours truly, Hannah Owen.
Hannah, you've been moping around the house for 3 weeks. And you're smoking again. Please try and pull yourself together. It was a lousy idea in the first place. What's going to be the end of it?
I don't know, Ivy Lou. I really don't know.
And then there it was, laying at the bottom of her mailbox. Hannah scooped it up and held it to her breast, opening it only after she was back in the kitchen, sitting at the table. There was no letter, only the picture.
Oh, Sam, he sent it. It looks so much, he looks so much. The picture must have been taken before the operation. For surely he looks healthier now. But he sent it, Sam. He sent it. The heart is working.
Hannah waited excitedly 2 weeks before she answered. It wasn't easy.
Dear Mr. Pope, thank you so much for the photo. I have put it in my scrapbook. My friend Ivy Lou, who is an actuary, has calculated that your face occupies 2.1% of the picture. And with the cap, you're a bit hard to make out, but still. I like your backyard, is it? I have a live oak in my yard, too. Sincerely yours, Hannah Owen.
6 weeks later, another letter arrived.
Dear Miss Owen, my wife Inez will be in Little Rock visiting her parents on the weekend of October 20th. If you would still like to come, I don't see why not, so long as you stay for 1 hour. I will expect you at the house at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. You know where it is, I'm sure. Yours truly, Henry Pope.
You see, Ivy Lou? You see?
I wouldn't drive if I were you. Not wound as tight as you are. Why, you're as nervous as a bride. See if there's a bus.
The bus arrived in Avery on Saturday, October 20th, at 9:30 that morning. Hannah took a cab to 8 Orchard Road. At precisely 10, She unlatched the front gate and walked up to the door. Before she could ring the bell, the door opened halfway.
Come in, excuse the darkness, but I figured I'd keep the drapes drawn. No need to call attention.
Oh, of course, Mr. Pope. Henry, you look much younger than in the photo you sent me. Very healthy and trim.
Yes, well, that was taken before I got better. I lost some weight too, almost 20 pounds.
Hannah could see that he was as nervous as she was.
Please come with me, we'll go into the den.
Thank you.
It's your show. How do you want me? I suppose you want my t-shirt off here?
Oh my, it's quite a scar.
Yes, but there's no pain or anything. Well, how do you want me? Come on, let's get this over with.
Best, I think, for you to lie flat on the sofa. I'll sit on the edge and lean over.
Where's your stethoscope?
I don't have a stethoscope.
Well, how are you going to listen to the heart without a stethoscope?
Well, they didn't always have them. I'm going to listen with my ear. I have very acute hearing.
Well, I don't know. Oh, it's all right. Just go ahead.
Hannah bent her head, lowering it slowly to Henry's chest. When her cheek touched his skin, she could feel him wince. Hannah closed her eyes, gave herself up to the labor of listening, as she heard the first dull thump, she thought.
That's Samuel's heart, all right. I could pick it out of 1,000. I could listen forever.
Hannah lay there listening until her ear and the chest of the man fused into a bridge of flesh, across which marched one beat after another, the parade of that mighty heart. Her own pulse quieted to match it, beat for beat. It seemed that it was no longer sound that entered and occupied her, but blood that flowed from one to the other. Her own blood driven by the heart that lay just beneath the breast, whose slow rise and fall she rode as though she were a huddled creature waiting to be born. At last Hannah opened her eyes and raised her head. Never, never had she felt such a sense of consolation and happiness. Had it been a dream? Had she fallen asleep? How long had she been there listening? Then she saw Henry smiling at her, and she thought to herself,
Angels must smile like that.
You were trembling like a bird. Let me help you up, Hannah.
Henry followed her to the door.
Will you want to come again, Hannah?
As she stepped out into the light of day, the splendor still singing in her ears, Hannah turned back to Henry and smiled.
No, there will be no need.
Peace.